I want to talk about your experience as the first to enroll a patient in the deeper OUS trial for the temporary Spur Stent system in June of 2019. I want to talk about the technology as well as the unique challenges that you faced potentially in this trial and the initial results to where we are now.
Yeah, Kim, the Spur Stent is part of a larger group of technologies called vessel preparation devices that we're going to hear more. And ShockWave actually is one of those as well. But what we mean by vessel preparation devices is saying, how can we prepare the vessel so that it responds much more effectively and durably to balloon angioplasty, the established treatment for occlusive disease in lower limb arteries? And so the Spur Stent is a technology designed to do that. It's an incredible technology that Reflow Medical have developed with a temporary stent with spikes or spurs that are deployed into the vessel wall. And the theory at the start, at least, was that that would mean that the vessel compliance or its ability to stretch up was different, but also that these little spikes in the vessel wall would allow drug to enter into the deeper layers of the vessel wall where it needs to be to have its anti-restenotic effect or prevent restenosis. So we enrolled the first patient, and we're one of the enrollers in the deeper OUS trial. This was a trial, the first trial using this technology in below-knee arterial occlusive disease. You mentioned the challenge. One of the challenges is showing a video of the device itself. When you look at it, it looks like, wow, that's pretty aggressive to be deploying this thing with spikes and going into my artery. And
Yes.
people were a little bit concerned about, would I be feeling this? Would it be painful? Would it cause major trauma? And so you needed to get patients trust and reassurance. And of course, that is this is a non-traumatic technology, and we saw a really good safety profile with our first human experience. So our experience really was that we were producing a different kind of angioplasty. It did look like there was a permanent stent in the arteries, even though you pulled the stent out at the end. And on follow-up in our cohort in the deeper OUS trial, the restenosis rates looked significantly lower than what we'd normally expect with plain balloon angioplasty. So the company sort of hasn't sat on their laurels with that. They've done another trial using a different type of drug, paclitaxel, a limus rather than paclitaxel, and they're studying, as you know, Kim, quite extensively in the US, and there are new trials being planned in the near future as well.
And they've already gotten CE mark. We're still working on it. I hear here in the US, and looking at possibly 2025 before we actually hear maybe the first quarter. But something else that's interesting, and I love that this is all happening in New Zealand, but I heard that it's also being tested for the heart and in-stent restenosis in New Zealand as well by one of your colleagues.
Yeah, well, here in Auckland Hospital, that's right. So yeah, it was, and we had. We've been very, very privileged to do that.